We are the Fat Guardians, and my name is ACB the Man. Welcome to the Personal Pan Podcast, number 3, featuring me, ACB the Man. So, it's the ACB the Man Podcast, number 2 or number 2.5, depending on who's counting. A couple of disclaimers right off the top. This is not scripted, and if you want to be a part of this, talk to me. I'm talking mostly to the epic guys, but talk to me if you want to be part of this, so it's not just one guy spouting off his opinions and talking to you for 20 to 30 minutes. So Destiny right now, is it stale? Well, it kind of depends. If you are playing by yourself, don't have an objective, don't know what you're doing, don't have people to play with, then yeah, Destiny's kind of stale. I mean, we just had the Dawning's over. We just learned that Crimson Days isn't coming back, and I'll talk about that a little bit. But if Destiny's stale to you, how can you change it? Well, first off, make goals. Make goals if I want to get a certain tier of armor, I want to get certain armors, I want to get a certain light level. You can look online and figure out how to do those things, and then set yourself a personal goal. Next, get a clan. I found a clan that has right now 400 members, and it grew 100 members in a month, but find a clan. It is going to make your time in Destiny so much better. Just get one. It can be a small clan too. There are clans of like 12 people that just have people to play with. So find a clan out there, find one that's good for you, and join it. So next off, we have news. There's no Crimson Days. It's sad but understandable, because Crimson Days was really just a PvP game mode last year, and after the Dawning was so good, there's no reason to put something out like that. Now, I really was wishing they would retool it and add some PvE components. I heard a very good idea about maybe doing 2-man strikes. That would make the strikes harder without actually having to change them. I know that that's artificial difficulty, and we all hated that with Crota Hard Mode came out, but it's just something that might be fun to do, and it would fit. By the way, they said something is coming. The live team is getting ready to announce something hopefully soon. I'm really hoping that's like some sort of April update. The live team did a very good job last April update with introducing a new strike and a couple of new story missions, so maybe they'll do something like that. That'd be awesome. Maybe some of the old raids come back? I don't know. Destiny 2 has been hinted at in the last weekly update. Bungie said before our next call to arms, they're hoping to do a weapons balance patch. Please bring back auto rifles. But anyways, they said they're hoping to do a patch before the next call to arms, so that's kind of Destiny 2. We kind of know that that's going to happen, but who really knows? Speaking of Destiny 2, all I really want is more story, and I understand that there is a lot of story out there now. We got the story of Crota, we got the story of the House of Wolves, how we need to go get Taniks and all that. We got Taken King and all the stuff with Taken King. We've got Rise of Iron, and just there's all this story in there now, except there are bits they haven't talked about yet. In the Grimoire a little bit, we understand that Rasputin kind of fired upon the Traveler whether or not to try to protect itself or keep it from running away. The Traveler seemed to be running away like it fled the Fallen before, so I don't know. We have to read into the Grimoire for that. I don't want that. I want more about the Traveler. I want more about the Speaker, honestly. I want more about the Stranger. Everybody wants more about the Stranger. Base game of Destiny had the Stranger, and now we know nothing about it. I mean, the Stranger went away at the end of the base story, vanilla story. We haven't heard anything. We need to hear more. We need to hear more about the Queen and the Queen's brother. Are they dead? Are they alive still? It's ambiguous, really, because there wasn't a definitive death, and nobody really said, oh, the Queen's gone. I mean, Petra's crying in the reef, so we assume that's all there, but we need to know for sure. Also, the Cabal. There was that story mission called Outbound Signal where the Cabal sent a message out and we tried to stop it, but it was like, oops, they got it out and sent out to high command that, like, essentially we've destroyed all the Cabal in the solar system, which is very cool, but the Cabal are from outside of the solar system apparently, and we were hoping for Cabal DLC, and honestly I think the SIVA and all that was kind of a last minute thing of Destiny needing to have something there when Destiny 2 really didn't work right, and so I just think we could have got that Cabal stuff. Maybe D2 is going to start with the Cabal stuff. I don't know. It would be very cool to have a Cabal-centered story. We've had Hive-centered story, we've had Vex-centered story, we've had Fallen-centered story. The Cabal are overdue. We're also overdue for some Stranger-centered story, like I just said earlier. So, Let's get back from news just a little bit. So, going back to the first topic, what am I, acbtheman, personally doing in Destiny right now to keep it from being stale? Well, for one, I'm playing a lot with my clan, Epic, and it's just very fun to play with the guys that are around my age. I've got people coming back into Destiny. Nature's Ninjas made an appearance last night in Destiny, which is awesome. And he wants to come back in and maybe do a couple more things with the Fat Guardians and play a little bit more. I mean, it's just going to be fun. Anyways, I switched to a Warlock. Specifically, the Sunsinger is what I'm looking at. Yes, I play a lot of Voidwalker, and Void was my favorite subclass, but I want to play Sunsinger without the Suffress. I have the Heart of Praxis Fire, which reduces the cooldowns, and I want to use Sunsinger offensively and not as a, oh crap, we're all dead, let me res and see if I can pick people up. But I switched to Warlock, and that's kind of a controversial decision. There are some people that threaten to kick me out of the clan because of that. Not really, it's a joke, but the only thing about the Warlocks that stinks is their jump. And I've even made it worse because I like to run Angel of Light. It's awesome. You jump in the air and hold there, and it really confuses people because not a lot of people use that talent. And it really confuses people because you jump and they're waiting for you to floof down and you're just not floofing down. So you get a lot of kills up in the air just aiming down at people. Let me think. Oh, I'm ranking up my future War Cult. One, I want to hit level 25 with the future War Cult so I can get that future War Cult exotic. It's very fun. I haven't hit it with my Titan yet. I've only got one of the class-specific exotics, but I'm looking to get this class-specific exotic for my Warlock because I think it'll be very cool. Also, there are two weapons from the future War Cult that I just try to get better ones. One is the Waltz Pulse Rifle. It's the same archetype as Grasp of Malik, and the dragon one, whatever it's called, Clever Dragon from the, what am I thinking about? From the Iron Banner, excuse me. It's the fastest rate of fire archetype, but it can roll with glass half full and all that. It can't get the high caliber rounds, which kind of makes it not the best, but it's still that same archetype and can still get some pretty good stability rolls and still get some damage rolls, so it is pretty fun. Also, I have a Wounded, it's called the Wounded Scout Rifle. I don't know why they have the Waltz and the Wounded beside each other, but they do. Anyways, the Wounded Scout Rifle, mine rolled with full auto and crowd control. And I like auto rifles, so hey, it's sort of like an auto rifle. And it has crowd control. I mean, it only has 15 rounds in it, but it's the same archetype as Mida. And if you can get a 4-shot headshot and then turn, you can get another 4-shot headshot. You can easily get 4 kills with this with those extra damage after you kill the first Guardian. Now, I don't always do that. I've only done that twice, but it's very fun to get those kills in the Crucible. Next, I'm also ranking up House of Judgment in the Reef. There are two reasons why. One, if you rank up House of Judgment, you can get armor and weapons for... No, take that. You get weapons for the House of Judgment, which, like, I can get the Soul Stealers, the high rate of fire auto rifle. I can get a very good hand cannon from them, Stolen Pride. There's a couple different weapons there. If you go to the Challenge of Elders and just get 90,000 points, you can get armor from House of Judgment. If you do Challenge of Elders and get 30,000 points, you can get weapons from the Queen's Bounty, and then also ranking up the Queen's faction, which they have new daily bounties to help you rank that up faster, and you're going to get armor. So there's all these unique armor sets that nobody goes for because they just take time to get. But all these unique armor sets from the Reef, they honestly look very, very, very cool, and I'm just sad that not a lot of people take the time to get them because everyone wants to get 400 and just do the same things that they keep doing, that they got to 400, and it's just kind of, I don't know, sucky. But not a lot of people are doing them. Alright, so the next segment is Streamer of the Week. So the Streamer of the Week this week is a guy called Wookie Approved. It is Wookie_approved on Twitch. I'll put the link up right about now, if I can remember what the time frame is. But it is twitch.tv/Wookie_approved. And it's spelled all correctly. And this is just a very fun dad. I think he's got a couple kids, maybe 3. Anyways, very fun dad who has some time to stream in the mornings during the week. And he just wants to try to make this streaming thing a little bit bigger. So if you have some time, please go follow him on Twitch. Look at his times. They're mostly in the morning, but he's got some archives. He two-manned the last boss of the Wrath of the Machine raid. So I mean, he's a very, very good raider. He does hard mode raids every week. So I mean, he's a very good raider, and he wants to make the streaming thing big. So please go give Wookie Approved a big follow. It's just going to be fun to watch. I mean, he's a very cool guy. He's in my clan. He's active on our clan Slack. He's just active everywhere, and he's just very awesome. His kind of motto is take a Wookie with you, and it's one of the best things you can do. Hashtag take a Wookie with you. So I guess, guys, this is actually gonna only be about 12 or 13 minutes, not 20 minutes, and that's not gonna be a bad thing. But now we are just waiting for the next live event to come out, if it comes out, and we're waiting on info on Destiny 2. Really, ideally, they're gonna hold on to Destiny 2 to EO3 and be a big player in probably the Sony presser, because they're big with Sony, but just probably be a big presser, big player in the Sony presser, and boom, big Sony wins Destiny, and they have all this and that and everything. I really don't care. I just want to see some Destiny stuff, so maybe they'll give us a Destiny teaser. What I've heard some people say is they need to pull a play out of World of Warcraft's book, or World of Warcraft before a expansion comes out will have stuff in the world, like Destiny sort of done it, where like before Crota's End, they had all of those knights running around. Before House of Wolves, they had the Scorch Cannons running around. But they need a big event that's actually like heralding in something's going to happen. Oh no, right up to where the start of Destiny 2 is. And then at the end of that event, I mean, you can still play Destiny 1. At the end of that event, there's no more story. Like, there's a cliffhanger. And it makes you want to buy Destiny 2. It'd be one of the biggest things to help push Destiny 2 off and say, hey, look, guys, there was this event you missed in Destiny 1, and a lot of people come back to Destiny 1 to see that event. And maybe if you complete that event, you can get an in-game artifact, or maybe not artifact, what do you call those things? Emblem or something in-game, just to say, hey, look, you completed that event in the old game. Here's something for playing with us. So it can just be very cool. Well, thank you guys for watching this far. Like I said, if you want to avoid just hearing the ramblings of a 25-year-old guy sitting in his room by himself talking into a computer, come join me, talk to me. I will do my best to get some other people on, because this is going to be so much cooler to have more people on than just ACB the Man. This was ACB the Man. Thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing. Any pizza can be a personal pan pizza if you try hard enough. Click on the pizza to subscribe, and click on the other videos to watch previous content.